What if I told you that a single event changed the course of history forever? That a single revolution could topple a monarchy that ruled for centuries and give birth to modern democracy? But at what cost? Thousands were executed, kings and queens lost their heads, and chaos reigned in the streets of Paris. Was it truly a fight for freedom, or did it spiral into madness? Stay with me as we unravel the dramatic and bloody story of the French Revolution. To understand the French Revolution, we need to go back to the late 18th century. France was ruled by King Louis XVI and Queen Marie Antoinette, a royal couple living in unimaginable luxury at the Palace of Versailles. Meanwhile, the common people, peasants, workers, and the growing middle class were suffering under high taxes, food shortages, and a crumbling economy. But why was France in such a terrible state? A series of costly wars, including support for the American Revolution, had drained the country's treasury. The monarchy continued to spend lavishly while the people struggled to survive. Bread, the staple food of the French people, became so expensive that riots broke out in the streets. Then came the Estates General in 1789, a gathering of representatives from France's three social classes: the clergy, the nobility, and the commoners. But the commoners, or the Third Estate, were always outvoted by the privileged classes. Frustrated and determined to make a change, they broke away and formed the National Assembly, declaring themselves the true representatives of the people. This act of defiance marked the beginning of the revolution. Then, on July 14th, 1789, everything exploded. The people of Paris, fearing that the king would use the army against them, stormed the Bastille, a massive fortress prison that symbolized royal tyranny. The prison had only a handful of prisoners, but that didn't matter. The Bastille was a symbol of oppression. The revolutionaries seized weapons, killed the prison's governor, and paraded his head on a pike. The message was clear. The people were rising. As the revolution gained momentum, the National Assembly took action. On August 26, 1789, they issued the Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen, a document that proclaimed liberty, equality, and fraternity for all. But was France truly heading toward a just society, or was it about to plunge into chaos? King Louis XVI was not ready to give up his throne. He attempted to flee France with his family in 1791, but he was caught and brought back to Paris. The people saw him as a traitor, and their anger grew. By 1792, France was at war with Austria and Prussia, as other European monarchies feared the spread of revolution. The French government was in turmoil, and radical revolutionaries took control. On August 10th, 1792, a mob stormed the Tuileries Palace, where the royal family was staying. The monarchy was officially abolished, and the king was put on trial. In January 1793, King Louis XVI was executed by guillotine. His wife, Marie Antoinette, was executed months later. France was no longer a monarchy, it was a republic. But instead of peace, the revolution spiraled into terror. Maximilien Robespierre, a leading radical, took control of the government. He believed that the revolution could only succeed through extreme measures. This led to the infamous Reign of Terror, where thousands of people were arrested and executed for being enemies of the revolution. The guillotine became the ultimate symbol of the revolution. Nobles, priests, and even revolutionaries who questioned Robespierre's rule were sent to their deaths. The most chilling part? Some of these people were executed based on mere suspicion. Even former allies of Robespierre, like Georges Danton, were not safe. But power is a dangerous thing. Robespierre himself became too powerful, and in 1794, he was arrested and executed. The Reign of Terror ended, but the damage was done. After the fall of Robespierre, France was left in chaos. The government was weak, corruption was rampant, and the country was still at war. In the midst of this instability, one man saw an opportunity: Napoleon Bonaparte. A brilliant military commander, Napoleon used his victories in battle to gain political influence. By 1799, he staged a coup and took control of the government. At first, Napoleon presented himself as a leader who would restore order and uphold the values of the revolution. But soon he crowned himself Emperor of France in 1804, marking the end of the Republic. France had gone from a monarchy to a revolution, then to a dictatorship. So, was the French Revolution a success or a failure? It overthrew a monarchy, introduced ideas of democracy, and inspired revolutions around the world. But it also led to years of war, thousands of executions, and a return to authoritarian rule under Napoleon. What do you think? Was the revolution necessary, or did it go too far? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for historical videos.